Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not adjust your set. I know it says Dungeon Master and the Plastered Dragon, but this really is Web of Lies. I am filling in for Dragon Maya as she is off touring a small section of the Caribbean. In the meantime, we will be still presenting your regularly scheduled Web of Lies, and all will be made clear to you. The only real difference is that there's a different person in that DM's chair. Before we get started, couple of announcements. Tomorrow night, Drunk and Dread, we have a werewolf themed episode, so there'll be some howling at the moon, and there'll also be some werewolves in the game. The howling at the moon, of course, being John after he's had a couple. It's just how he rolls. It's Fire's favorite thing in the world, and we would hate to disappoint her. Monday night, Chosen Family. Z's fiance is back. Nosarag's dragon girlfriend is back, and Roscoe's ship is back. What does all of that mean? We'll find out on Monday. Then on Tuesday, Something Wicked. The party was left in a bit of a precarious spot last episode if you didn't see it. They kind of forgot to rest up after a fairly heavy battle and then went and picked a couple of other fights while splitting up. So, not great choices. We'll see how that works out for them. And then that'll bring us around to another Wednesday night fiasco. Can we top Fist City? No. No, we really can't, but tune in anyway because it's always a good time at Fiasco and it's worth watching just the same. But now it's time for a little bit of Web of Lies. We've all been waiting for it and we don't want to keep you waiting anymore. So when we last left our heroes, Carmen had been abducted by the Bureau of the Extra Normal, known as Ben, for basically being in the wrong place at the wrong time. The party had stolen several artifacts from the DAR concert hall. They stole them for good reason. It was artifacts that were being held by some evil drow, and they wanted to make sure they weren't being used for nefarious purposes. And while these artifacts were being identified by their good friend Seamus, Carmen was just waiting outside. The van pulled up. She got in after a brief altercation with several Ben agents that was destined not to go well, and was brought to Ben headquarters for interrogation. During the interrogation, she was allowed to go free by a strange Ben officer named Richard Red, who asked her while in the stairwell to meet him later on for a matter of great importance. Carmen, ever suspicious, didn't lead him right back to her friends. Instead, she went and hung out on the mall in D.C. and sent out an SOS to Kenny. Kenny can track Carmen because he enabled that feature on her phone, unbeknownst to Carmen, and the party converged on the mall to try and find out what was going on. The most information was gathered by Sarah in disguise and Jonathan in dog form, as they were able to piece together some of what was going on with Carmen. She brought them to a different location where Richard had wanted them all to meet, and they found out what Richard's story was. He is, in fact, a Ben agent, but he believes that Ben does good work and that things have changed at Ben recently and that there were some people at Ben that were subverting its mission. It turned out that the Dark Elves that the party had been hunting have managed to infiltrate Ben as well, and Richard needed the party's help to root out the traitors and put Ben back on its rightful path. He was hoping that they would help him recover a magical item that he had been intercepting transmissions on. And so after a little bit of false starts trying to get into the building, the party decided to go in through the roof, very inconspicuously by levitating people up the fire escape. So, not that anyone would notice, and the party got inside, got to where this magical item was supposed to be, only to find, oh no, there were 3 dark elves waiting there. It was a trap. Oh, thank you. Is that Gabu Licorn? I think. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to our home. The party discovered the Dark Elves, which had been setting a trap for Richard. However, they expected him to come alone, and he came in force. And as such, the party was able, more or less, to dispatch the Dark Elves and put them away. As they were disposing of the bodies, Jonathan decided that it would be best if someone was a lookout, and he went outside to keep an eye out for enemies. Unfortunately for Jonathan, he found some, and they were a bit too many for him. As he called out to his friends a warning, they rushed outside to find him, only to find him not there. And that is where we pick up this week's episode, with our heroes outside looking at the space where Jonathan likely once was. All right, heroes, what are we doing?
After seeing that Jonathan's nowhere to be around, Jonas is going to grab Richard by the lapels and pin him up against the wall right next to him. Whoa. Richard, the last time someone went missing within our party, it was Ben's doing.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I didn't take anyone. I certainly didn't authorize anyone being taken last time or this time.
There's got to be connections that you can get a hold of. This is... and he kind of drops him.
Penny's going to be looking around to see if there's any sign of a struggle, as to, like, kind of, you know, if he was forcefully taken, if he willingly was taken.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, I'm so good at those. 5.
You know, you can't really make out any kind of details out here at all. I mean, he came out the front clearly, and you know, there's been a lot of traffic on this street, so you can't really tell which way he was taken. If anything unusual was disturbed, it all looks pretty much normal to you.
I'm kind of familiar with Ben's doing, so could I check if Jonathan was really taken by Ben or by anyone else?
Sure. You know what? Go ahead and give me an investigation check as well.
It's 21.
21 is a little bit better than 5. You pick up a few more details than Kenny did. You're looking around, and you can definitely see some signs of a struggle, and you see something discarded on the ground. And you pick it up, and it looks like a small clump of herbs, as though it looks like it was thrown down in haste by Jonathan to try and let you know that he didn't just wander off. And as you look at the way the ground was disturbed and some of the markings, you don't see typical Ben patterns. In fact, it doesn't look like it was human. It doesn't look like it was the work of people that Jonathan tangled with. Give me a history check.
Okay, 19.
19. Okay. These look more like slither patterns, like some kind of snake-like beings.
Guys, come over here, please. And I'm gonna show everyone what I just discovered.
Okay.
With Jonas being a monster hunter, would he be able to kind of tell what type of tracks these are?
I would give you, let's go with survival at advantage.
Right.
Look, Jonathan turned into a snake. He's obviously safe. Let's go find him.
That is a 18, 22.
These are definitely the tracks of Yuan Ti.
I'll let the group know that. So now we're dealing with Drow and Yuan Ti.
Yuan what?
Snake people. Bodies of human, or torso of a human, legs of a snake, or tail of a snake, I guess I should say. Richard, what do you know of the Yuan Ti in the area?
There's at least one faction. I tried to investigate them, but that case got closed down.
What do you mean closed down? Like just terminated, ended? Nobody kept looking into it, kind of a deal, or
I passed the leads up the chain, and my superiors said that it wasn't anything, and that I should spend my time on more productive pursuits. I think that that's when I first started to get suspicious.
right? Now you mentioned your superiors at Ben. Is what was her name again? Agent Umbra.
Umbra, yeah,
Umbra, one of the Drow. She's one of your superiors.
absolutely.
Gosh,
She's a level 5 agent. That's the highest you can get. She has
And
access to everything.
you're a level what?
3.
Okay.
I've got some pretty good access, and at least for the moment, since these guys haven't reported back in, I've still got access.
that's good.
I mean,
Do
Umbra
you-
sent them here to kill me, clearly, so
Do you think it's gonna be a problem if they don't show up?
I would imagine so, yes. After all, I was sent here, or rather, I was following a trail here. They were here to stop me, and they don't report in.
Could we do something about it? I mean, Kenny and I can disguise ourselves pretty
Kenny,
good.
you took that rock last time.
Yeah.
Do you think you can imitate their voice, and at least to throw them off for a couple more hours? Say that he didn't show up here.
Let me check if I can do that.
What feats?
Yes,
What feats do you have?
actor.
Okay, so
I think I can do that.
you have to have studied the, you have to have like listened to them for a solid minute. I don't think that they lived for a minute, but I would at least give you a role to try and imitate them. Do you have any of their gear, or did you just basically melt them down, clothes and all?
We took the rock, the communicating.
Okay,
The sending
Communicating.
stone.
Yeah,
you took,
that's it.
You took the sending stone. Okay.
Yeah. So we pretty much have only that, I think.
Okay, so that means you can send a 25-word message a day to whoever has the other one of these. Did you want to try to send a message?
I think we should. Maybe if they're using that to communicate, we just send an all clear.
But maybe we could try to wait a little bit more in the night and send a message after a couple of hours. Like a message that says, he never showed up. What do we do? Or something like that.
It's not a bad idea. We
Okay.
can make that happen. Question for the DM: do we know if a sending stone does that send location as well, or just words?
Just
So, like,
words.
Okay, so we could send those regardless of where we're at.
Yep. As near as you know, the sending stone enchantment itself will not send position. You don't know whether or not they have a way of detecting where the stone is. After all, they were able to track the artifacts that you guys stole pretty quickly to Seamus's shop.
Okay. Well, regardless, I think we need to find all the information we can on these Yuan-Ti. Richard, do you think you can get access to the files at Ben?
I could try. I think we're better off at maybe a satellite office than the main office, because I don't know that I want to show up there for a while anyway.
I don't blame you.
Probably not. You probably don't want to show up at home either. Like, I imagine they know where you live.
Well, I would imagine that they know where I live too, since it's in the records. Are you suggesting that I hang out with you guys? Because I'm all right with that.
I'm suggesting you should probably gather what you can as quickly as you can from your house, what you can get from Ben, anything, and then come and meet us back up wherever we decide to hide out for now.
Oh, I got a bag in
Because-
my SUV. I always grab a bug out bag whenever I'm going on a mission like this.
As Kenny and Richard are having this conversation, Jonas is going to move over to Carmen and kind of pull her to the side. Are you okay if Richard comes with us?
You know what? At this point, I don't think I care. And I reach into my pocket and I pull out my cell phone. I shove it in Jonas's hands and I start walking toward the main road.
Okay.
Jonas is going to wait a couple seconds, a little dumbfounded, and then immediately, a little bit of clarity comes to his head, and he's going to chase after Carmen. Carmen, what? Carmen, wait!
As soon as I get to the main road, I'm going to hail a cab.
Okay. Cab pulls over.
Will Jonas be able to make it to the cab before she gets in?
I will give you guys an initiative roll.
I might be in trouble there. Ugh.
If you can act before her, I will allow you to catch up and do something. What do you got?
I got a 15.
19.
All right. You get to the curb just as Carmen hurries into the cab and slams the door shut. You get up to the door, but she has locked it and is telling the driver to just go.
All right. Can I get a quick look at the cab number?
Sure.
So yeah, I want to take down the identification number for the cab itself, as well as the phone number for the cab company.
Okay.
So, and then I'll head back to the rest of everybody.
And I know where you're heading, don't I, Carmen? Okay. I thought I did.
Guys, Carmen just up and walked off. She got in the cab and drove off. Wouldn't talk to me. I don't know where she went.
Oh, geez. Is that my fault? I mean, I said sorry. It was part of the ruse. I mean,
Shut up. That's okay. I think she just needs a second. Kenny just won't stop messing with her. And you, on top of that, I think it's just a bit much to her.
She should have gone off alone. Signy was captured alone. Jonathan was captured alone.
Well,
at least we know.
At least you can track her with her phone. I mean, so we got that going for us.
Jonas holds up her phone.
Ah, shit.
No, I can't.
Well, I took down the cab number as well as the cab company. Maybe we can call them and see if we can basically file an endangered person type of deal with them. So maybe we can figure out where this cab driver took her.
Endangered person. We got someone in the federal government on our side.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, Kenny.
Oh, boy.
Welcome to our happy little family, Richard.
Something tells me I'm going to regret this.
It's a complicated family.
All right, where are you guys off to?
Someone has to tell the moon speakers that Jonathan's gone.
Yeah. Do you think they will take us anyway?
I mean, I've got a place set up. We could camp. I'm sure it's being watched by now if they've got my information, but
We can find a empty enough place. My trailer goes up wherever.
right.
Or, I could call my agent. I'm sure she could set up a quick hotel reservation for today under her name.
Yeah, we could do something like that.
So next up, Moonspeaker Farms, then?
I believe so.
Yep.
You guys want me to drive? Or do you want me to ditch my car?
Is there tracking on your car?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean,
M-
Maybe it's
Maybe
best that we don't use your car.
Gonna have to
may-
agree with these guys.
maybe it's best that he takes his car and goes somewhere else for the night.
Dump it somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
well, if we're supposed to be pretending that everything is all right with me, shouldn't I hang on to the car?
Yeah.
But
But is everything supposed to be all right with you?
yeah,
Oh wait, we're doing that sending message saying that he never showed up. Never mind.
yeah, but that's only going to throw them off for so long.
Right.
Eventually, they won't return. So I
Right.
think we might have the night max where they may not be looking for you.
All
Don't
right.
for-
So let's
Oh.
let's go ahead and take your car to the moon speakers for now, and then we'll dump it in the morning.
Okay.
Or what time? What time is it currently?
I'd say it's probably around lunchtime, because it was fairly early in the day that all of this happened.
Daytime heist. Nice.
Well, you guys
All
are
right.
always so inconspicuous, levitating dogs
This-
in the middle of the day,
This is true.
Maybe we could drive the Richard's car to his place, and then all gathered to go back to the moon speaker. Because if it's the day and the car is going to the moon speaker, they will clearly find something suspicious.
Good thinking, Sarah. All right. So it sounds like we're headed to your place first, Richard. You can get out of there what gear you need,
All right.
and then we'll take a cab to the moon speakers.
Yeah, if it's being watched, maybe at least me and Kazuki can just appear as normal, I don't know, level 1 agents that you might have taken with you or something. That way they don't see us with you right away if it is being watched.
That sounds like a really good idea. So you guys disguise yourselves as Ben agents. What
Yeah.
about you, Jonas?
I don't have a disguise or anything. So,
I can make you
What-
invisible once
what-
we get close.
I
what
can,
kind of car is it?
It's a black sedan.
How far away do you live, Richard?
Oh, I don't know, about a half hour.
That's plenty of time. And pop the trunk. I'll get in.
Okay. And he pops the trunk.
Wait. Never mind. Screw that. Let's just go. It'll be fine.
There's
Pretend like you're escorting me.
there's tinted windows. No one's gonna see inside.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Just
or I
remember
can
my
try.
old days.
I can try to take like 10 minutes to make you a disguise. Because I have everything to do that in my bag.
Maybe we can do that while we're on the way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of disguise you making for him?
What kind of disguise should I make you, Jonas?
I honestly don't know. Probably something pretty inconspicuous. I have no idea. Kenny, any suggestions?
This is dumb. Let me just make you invisible. Like,
Fair enough.
I can do that. I've done that before.
You can do that when we arrives to the
Yeah. I
Richards.
can only do it once per day anyway, so at least
Yeah,
that's
okay.
all I figured out how to do it with the guitar.
Mhm.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, you guys get in the car, and Richard drives you to his place. And he pulls a bag out of the trunk. You get turned invisible, and who calls the Uber or the cab?
I think the Rockstar would, right?
Yeah. Not really a rock star, but yeah.
All right. So
Country star.
Kenny uses his phone to use his Uber app and dials up an Uber. Car shows up in a few minutes. You go invisible. Everybody gets out of the car and gets into the Uber, and you head to Moonspeaker Farms. Meantime, Carmen shows up where she was going. Did you want to narrate any of that, or?
Once Carmen gets into the cab, she'll give the cab driver the location of her gym, and that's where she's going. She has nowhere else to go in the world. Once she gets there, she goes back into the locker rooms and starts rummaging around in there. And then she's going to go and look for her coach.
Okay. She finds him. He's in the ring area, working with a couple of other fighters.
Just stand there and watch for a little bit.
He keeps stopping the sparring and going in and like showing them where the flaw in their technique is, putting their hands in different places, and then running it back and having them go again. He glances over his shoulder and just kind of nods at you.
Hey, can I talk to you here in a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Hang on a minute. Hey, take 5, guys. Take 5. And the 2 women in the ring go and they each grab water bottles, and he steps in. He steps outside the ring and down the stairs and heads over. Getting nervous about tonight?
Yeah, that's to say the least. Who am I fighting?
You're fighting Misty. Misty McGonaghy.
She's good.
She is, but when you're on your game, you're better. Are you on your game? You look a little bit unsteady on your feet here. What's going on?
I'll be fine. Got any tips for me? Any advice?
Yeah. You mean other than don't lose, right?
That would be helpful, yeah.
So, I've been studying her, and she's cautious. She likes to feel her opponents out. So I think if you go hard and fast at her, it'll catch her off guard. Because a lot of times in the early stages of these fights, people kind of do slow moves, kind of do feints and things like that to try and just see what the other person's planning. Just go right at her. I think if you go right at her, you might have a good shot at ending this thing early.
Well, if there's anything I'm good at, it's fast and hard.
You know, I really wish I could figure out what was going on with you. Because I mean, you could be the next champion. You really could, if you would just get your shit together.
I'll be good, I promise.
And have you been drinking? This is not him
I'm
asking.
good.
This is the DM. It's like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was drinking beforehand, before the heist.
does it smell like on your breath and your clothes, or?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He says, maybe you should sleep it off before the fight.
I'll be fine.
All right.
I'm gonna go get ready. I'll be good, I promise.
All right, we'll see you at the arena. Why don't you get there 90 minutes before? We'll do some warm-ups. I'll tape you, and we'll go over strategy last minute.
Sounds good.
All right.
And then I'm gonna go back to the locker room and I'm gonna meditate.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Meantime, you guys arrive at Moonspeaker Farms.
I don't even know what to tell him. Like, to just say sorry, your son was kidnapped, and that's it. I mean,
I don't know. You should clearly talk to them because they saw me like what 2 times, and Kenny is clearly not in their games. No offense, Kenny. No offense.
Yeah, I mean, they did all decide to just pull their weapons out on me at one point in time. So,
Completely unprovoked, right, Kenny?
completely unprovoked, I might add. I was just laying there doing me.
It also might be best for you to stand out here, Richard. You look like a Ben agent still.
I am a Ben agent, but I mean, okay. I'll just me and Kenny will hang out here and talk about music.
Sounds good. I'm gonna come with you, Jonas, just to. I don't know. Not to leave you alone because.
Any
when
emotional support will be great.
Yeah, that's mostly because I don't want you to be kidnapped.
Yeah, I don't think us being split apart is a really good idea ever.
Yeah.
At this point.
Agreed.
All right. So you guys head into the shop because it's still mid-afternoon, so there's probably not going to be anyone in the house at this point.
Hmm.
And you see a couple members of the Moonspeaker clan working in the shop. There's a couple of customers there, browsing the herbs and such.
We've spent enough time with the Moon Speakers that we know kind of who's heading up the shop and running everything, right?
Yeah.
Are they present?
Yeah, his dad is there and his younger brother.
All right. Jonas will approach Jonathan's father. And, Mr. Moonspeaker, can we have a moment of your time?
Yes, please. Excuse me one moment, and he turns to the customer and says, "My son will help you. I must see to something here." Jonas, was it not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How is your investigation going?
We've uncovered a lot of different evidence, but we've also had a rough go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anything we can do to help?
I'm sure that there is, but was a bit of a complication. Sarah, do you still have those herbs?
Yes, I will take out the herbs that Jonathan left on the ground.
We were investigating the Daughters of the American Revolution Memorial and or museum. Or no, where were we? We were at the
Theater.
theater. Thank you. We were investigating a lead at the theater, and Jonathan volunteered to take watch outside. When we came to regroup, he wasn't there, and this was all that was left.
He holds out his hand and he looks at the herbs. I see. Yes, this is not something he would use in a combat situation. So if it is on the ground, he clearly threw it there.
We believe he was taken by Yanti, according to the tracks that were around the location where he was at.
We have had no dealings with them. It is unlikely that it was personal to him then.
Right. I'm afraid that our investigation has the potential of being even more dangerous for everybody around us. With both the Drow involved and now the Yanti, I'd completely understand if you never want us to be here again.
I do not believe you are at fault here, Jonas. And my son is strong. I believe he can take care of himself. You are still welcome here. You are making powerful enemies. It would not make sense to alienate your friends as well.
Well, Mr. Moon Speaker, we appreciate that so much. And I promise you, if we find anything regarding Jonathan in these next as long as we're searching. We'll bring him home.
We will begin searching as well, though Yuan Ti magic is very powerful. We will call upon the spirits of our ancestors, and perhaps that will help.
I believe it will.
I am sure you still have work to do, but you are still welcome to stay here if you need.
We will definitely take you up on that offer, and we do very much appreciate that. One thing that you should be aware of is we have a new addition to our group. His name is Richard Red, and he is an agent of Ben.
I see.
He has shared a lot of information with us regarding what's been going on with the agency, how there's been corruption, and how the Drow have infiltrated their organization. He's dedicated to remove that threat and help us with this investigation.
And you trust him?
I mean,
I don't know yet.
it's only been a couple hours.
I don't know if I can trust him fully, but he has a good heart and a good head on his shoulders.
That is a sensible answer. Then he is welcome here as long as he is under your care.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you need of me? If not, I should go inform Jonathan's mother of this turn of events.
Of course. No, there's nothing that we require, but again, we will do everything we can to find Jonathan and bring him home.
Thank you. I am glad that he has friends like you.
We're glad that we have a friend like him.
He smiles, kind of a sad, wistful smile. Nods and turns and walks back into the shop.
Before he goes, I will just try to grab his hand and look him in the eyes and say, I know how it is to lose someone, and I will do everything I can to find Jonathan.
He takes his other hand and clasps yours with it. I believe you. I know you will do your best.
And Sarah just took off, and Jonathan, not Jonathan, Jonas, if you're quick enough to see, Sarah is crying a bit.
Okay. Meantime,
after he leaves, Jonas will leave the shop and regroup with Kenny and Richard.
and Kenny and Richard are outside having a fairly pleasant conversation about the joys of country music and Kenny's place in it. Kenny's on more familiar ground here because Richard is clearly a fan, a browniac, if you will, and so they're both bonding over their mutual love of Kenny. I think that's accurate. Yes, Kenny?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I make sure that if he doesn't have tickets to Kenny's show on Saturday, he'll make sure that he promises to get him not only tickets, but he'll get him a backstage pass as well.
He's like over the moon about this, and he does not seem at all like a very stiff, stuffy Ben agent. He's a little bit giddy when you guys come out there and you hear them talking about backstage passes.
You got you roped into that now?
Roped? What are you talking about? How do you not see how great this is?
Whatever. Anyways, the Moon speakers here were kind enough to allow us to continue to stay here as long as we need.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. It's really hard to find a location to magically put up a trailer that no one else can see.
I can only imagine how hard that must be for you. But we need to do everything that we can to find Jonathan. And I think in order to first do that, we need to be a full group and find Carmen.
Yeah. But Richard, you said I assume as a band you kind of looked into us a little bit before you came after us. Does
a little
Carmen
bit.
have any? Does Carmen have any places that she's connected to in the city? Anywhere she likes to hang out?
I mean, I didn't really, investigate that much. I kind of did some background checking and everything, but
That's fine. Maybe we can ask the Vikings.
Well, we also have the cab company. You may be able to pull some enforcement with your, agency background. Maybe you can get an answer out of them to track her down.
sure. I mean, yeah, give me the number. We can give him a call.
And Jonas will hand him the info.
And he calls up, and you notice his voice get deeper when he's on the phone. Yes, hello. This is Richard Red with Ben, and I need some information about a cab. No, I'm not going to bring you a warrant. You're going to give me the information, and you're going to save us all a lot of time and trouble, because if I have to come down there, some heads are going to roll. All right. Good. And he reads off the cab number. Uh-huh. Thank you. You have been most cooperative, citizen. And he clicks the phone closed and he hands it back.
Jonas is going to stifle a laugh.
He says, "What? It works, I mean..."
No, it worked, but citizen? Sound like Superman.
That was mighty impressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, you give them what they expect and then they play along. It's like a show. Kenny gets it.
I get it.
Where is she?
Now, Carmen, did you just have the cab take you right to the gym?
Yeah.
He relays the name of a gym that's in downtown DC.
All right, sounds like that's our stop.
It's like in the southwest part of DC. It's not the worst part, like, which is southeast, but it's not the fancy stuff like Bethesda in the northwest part.
Gotcha.
It's kind of down toward the Pentagon and that sort of area.
All right, well, I think we have a clear plan. Got to go find Carmen and knock some sense into her.
Well, I wouldn't really try physically knocking sense into her. I feel like she'd physically knock you out.
I've seen how she fights. She's not that hard to hit.
I hit her. I know I shouldn't be bragging about that, but
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I'd watch out. She likes to sleep outside doors and then will probably try to jump you later.
Well, that's only if you charm her, lie to her, charm her again, lie to her again.
Listen, the first charm didn't work. And I think the second one you counterspelled. I think it was the third time.
The third time was the charm.
Yeah, third time was the charm.
really?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Boo!
boo, indeed. That was awful.
All right, country star. I think we need another Uber.
Sure, I made $49 singing earlier today. He calls up another Uber.
All right, so you guys Uber your way to the gym. And walk in the front door, and it's a pretty good sized gym, and you see a lot of people inside doing MMA type training, but you don't see Carmen.
Can we kind of almost immediately recognize if somebody's coaching or walking around, owner of the gym, basically?
You can see a couple people coaching fighters.
All right. Well, I'll go up to the nearest one.
Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, hang on. I'll be with you in a minute. No. Look, if you're gonna do a takedown, you got to get both legs. If you only get one leg, they've got leverage. They can still get it. No, look, like this. And he pushes one woman out of the way, and he gets the other woman. He says, "Okay, put your arms where hers were," and then really fast he sweeps his arm down and gets both legs up and flips her onto her back. Says, all right, like that. 5 times. I'm going to be right back. Yeah,
Jonas looks impressed.
what do you want? I'm kind of
Sorry
busy
to
here.
interrupt. Have you seen a woman named Carmen come in?
I see a lot of women come in here. It's my job. What do you know?
Feisty, angry, quiet, drunk.
And
Well, we're looking for her. She was hanging out with us and then up and disappeared. We were kind of worried about her.
now maybe she just needed a little bit of space to get ready for her fight.
Oh, she's fighting? When?
About 7 o'clock tonight. Actually, it'll be a little bit later because she's one of the main events at the fight.
Very cool. Are there tickets to the fight, or is it kind of an open show?
Oh yeah, there's still tickets available.
Well, I'd definitely be interested to see how she can throw down. She hasn't really mentioned it to us. I mean, she said she had a gym, enjoyed working out, but had no idea that she was a fighter like this.
Working out, yeah, if you want to call it that. All right. I'll tell you what. If you're really friends of hers, he writes down the address. He says, "Show up here. It's not the largest venue, but she's working her way up. She'll make it. She'll make it onto one of the big UFC cards eventually if she keeps at it."
Sweet. I mean, with her personality, I could see it happening. She's kind of a hard ass.
All right. Well,
But, yeah, thanks.
now if you excuse me, I got to get back to it. I got some fighters I got to train, and then I got to get over there and get her prepped for the show.
Right. Well, we'll see you there tonight.
All right.
Jonas goes back to the rest of the group and relays all the info. Think she's got people around her. I think she'll be okay for now. Let her cool off for a couple hours by herself. And we'll show up at her fight at 7.
I guess that'll be a surprise. Why do you think she didn't mention she was fighting tonight?
Probably.
It might have something to do with that. She just does not care for any of us. But that's just my guess.
I guess, but she's an MMA fighter. Beyond winning, I imagine she probably also gets paid if the more seats that are filled. So bodies is just a good thing, regardless if they like you or not.
Are you suggesting we try and find more bodies to put in those seats for her?
No, I think we'll be enough.
All right. Well, we got a couple of hours before then.
So
Do you think we can dig up some information about snake people?
Yeah. Richard, do you think you may be able to get that access to those files regarding the Yanti that was just then closed?
I can try. I don't really want to go into the office, but and I've got some notes that I kept. I suppose we could maybe go to a coffee shop and go over or something if you want.
I think that's a good step.
Mm-hmm.
Notes are better than nothing. If we have to buy tickets, we can also do. I'm sure we could go online and do that there as well.
Probably do it at the door. It's usually how these small venues work.
Should it be a
Wouldn't
good
know.
Should it be a good time for me to send a message with the sending stone?
It's been a few hours.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
So what should I say?
I mean, probably something along the lines of Red hasn't shown up. Stand by.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think, Richard?
I mean, I think that sounds reasonable. Something like Red hasn't shown up, leaving this location. We'll report in later.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I'll try to imitate the voice, I guess. Do I have to imitate the voice to send the message?
Yeah, it would be a performance check.
Yeah, okay. Performance or deception?
Performance, because you are trying to sound like someone that you've heard but not really studied.
That's a
Before,
natural 20.
then never mind.
Well, there you go.
Nope.
+6 if it
Natural 20
matters.
natural 20 is probably good enough.
Wow, your voice got real deep there when you're trying to be that drow guy.
You know I'm good. I'm trained to do that.
Nice, nice, nice. Trained in acting. Not too good at doing other voices though. It's a Texas thing. It's a hard accent to get rid of.
So so you basically convey the message that
Yeah, what was it? Red is not showing up. Reporting later.
and you hear back in your mind, interesting. He should have been there by now. Perhaps we were wrong about him? Check the other location.
Richard,
Yeah?
in the files that you got, did you have other location than the theater?
I mean, not for the necklace, no, but I mean there was other stuff I was looking into that they were up to.
Because the message I got back said to check the other location.
I wonder where else they're trying to lay traps for me.
Couldn't say. The message wasn't really specific.
All right, well, I'm not sure where else they're expecting me to go right now. I suppose we don't worry about it. When I don't show up there, maybe they'll stop being suspicious of me. Maybe it's better that I don't go any place they're looking for me.
It's not a bad
Probably.
idea. Sarah, do you want to just send back Roger a copy, or we'll do something along those lines?
Wasn't the sending stone only one message?
Once per day.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, maybe even when they don't show up, they might go looking for the other agents, thinking that they were a reverse ambush or something like that. Who knows?
Who knows, indeed.
Could I have done an inside check to see if the message was suspicious of something?
You can certainly try.
I'll try. With my -1.
Oh boy.
And that's 0.
No.
Oh. Everything's fine. Everything is perfectly fine here. There's absolutely nothing wrong or suspicious at all.
I mean, the message was pretty clear. I don't think they are suspicious of anything.
All right.
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me. I guess we should get whatever information we can, and then show up to a fight at 7.
All right.
Let's do this.
So you guys head to a coffee shop near, and when you look at the address, it's a slightly larger venue than you were expecting. I mean, it's not huge, but it's the Washington Wizards practice facility in the southeast, where the Mystics play. It's about a 5,000 seat arena.
Wow. Looks like we may need to get our tickets online.
Maybe I could do that. I'm sure they're on like Ticketmaster or something.
Yeah, you could go on to Ticketmaster and get some tickets for the event. It's not a big name like UFC. It's MMA DC.
Okay.
But as a regional power, they're decent. There's
Can I get? I want to get tickets as close to the arena, as close to the ring as possible.
sure there are still some good seats available. They cost a little bit more, but yeah, you can get some good seats.
How much is a little bit more?
Like maybe $50 a ticket.
Well, that's fine. That's $200. Kenny will do that.
Okay. And then he rejoins everybody at the coffee shop,
Hmm.
or goes inside the coffee shop, where Richard is explaining what he knows about the Yuan-Ti. So there's, from what my research has shown, there's rival factions of mystical creatures in the area, and they're not supposed to be here. For the most part, we had them under control, but at some point, I guess things got out of hand. I mean, there's the werewolves and the vampires, but they've always been around, and they're more managed than anything else. But those were creatures that are naturally occurring on this plane. But
I was gonna say, we heard about the vampires, the Blood Gang, at some bar that I forget the name of now.
Is it Thirst? Something subtle like that, right?
I think it might have been Might's Bite.
Night's Bite.
Night's
That's
Bite.
right.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but those guys have been around for hundreds of years. But I mean, things like elves, dark elves, orcs, Yuan-Ti, creatures like that. Those are supposed to stay on their home planes, and they've been breaking through with more regularity and not being sent back like they're supposed to. Is what I've noticed, and I think that the Drow are trying to offer up gifts to these other factions to try and get them on their side. It seems like some kind of big power play.
Do you think we are messing in their power play?
Well, did you tell him about the Drow that you killed?
I think we did.
The first one.
Yeah, when we showed him the pictures.
Okay.
I think we did.
I think it's fairly safe to say yes. I mean, you killed one of the four ladies in the picture, and since then, two of your friends have been kidnapped. I mean, I feel like you're probably messing with some powerful people. But I mean, that's just me.
So, Richard, in your opinion, what would the other factions that they're trying to get on their side would be? So they've got the Yuan-Ti, the Drow. We fought a couple of elementals.
Well, elementals. I mean, maybe, but elementals. What kinds? Because a lot of times they're just conjured up and controlled by wizards. I mean,
they were more tree-like than anything. I think they were actually literally trees. Is that right?
Yeah. No, I thought they were under control. Like that little charm thing
That's right.
pretty much just mind controlled them. Some sort of just made them super aggressive.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like they're an active faction at this moment.
Let's see. There were those things at the Daughters of the American Revolution Theater.
Those nightmare creatures.
Yeah,
With the sting?
yeah, like the harpoon arms or something like that.
There was the kind of gooey thing in the fountain when you defrosted me
Yeah.
That's right.
also.
Those sound like conjurations, though. I mean, those sound like creatures that were brought up. I would be more interested in factions like the orcs and the goblins, the Yuan-ti, the drow. I'm sure there are other ones around.
I think it's mainly just been the Drow then, and then up until now.
Right.
Well, we had a glance of the vampires too.
Yeah, they attacked Astrid, but we don't know if that was more of her doing
Yeah.
or not.
I mean, the vampires have their own power plays going. I don't know whether they're involved in the Drow's power plays. It's possible. I wouldn't rule them out.
Right. Well, in the notes that you have on the Yuan-ti, was there a location?
No, I'd been tracking them, and I had a couple of leads, but then everything got shut down on me.
Okay.
We could try to start up some of those operations again, though.
I mean, we're gonna have to do it without the knowledge of Ben, because if once they catch whiff,
Oh,
they're
absolutely.
coming at us in full force.
Yeah, if I go back in there and try to open up an investigation through official channels, or even try to access my old resources there, I feel like that'll probably tip them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that. But if you have anything you're gonna that could remotely help, I mean, all I know so far is that these are snake peoples. The only thing and things I know about snakes is that the green anaconda lives in the Amazon of the Orinoco rainforest in South America.
That is a strange thing to say, but I bet you could make a song out of that. If anyone could, you could.
Well, I have heard that the rains in Spain stay mainly on the plain, but that's besides the point.
And so time passes, you guys drink some coffee, and it's about 6:30. We'll say you guys grab something to eat as well.
All right.
Should we go to the fight?
Yeah, I got
Yep.
tickets.
Okay. So let's go cheer Carmen up.
Yeah, cheer her on. I think maybe this fight might help clear any anger she has. Probably not all of it, but maybe enough that she'll talk to us.
And Kenny, just between you and me, let's try not to rig the fight in any way, either in her favor or against her favor.
Listen, I'll leave it fair. I don't mess with anything that might involve gambling, which I'm sure these fights do.
I appreciate
You over
that.
people's money too much, and then they come after you, and then you have to move to a different state, and it's a big deal.
You sound like you're really familiar with this.
I screw over a lot of people. I was young. I was learning my powers. I didn't realize what I was doing the first couple times.
You still don't know.
Oh, wow.
Oh, snap!
Ouch.
Hey.
And with that, Jonas leaves.
Besides, I doubt they'll let me bring my guitar in anyways.
All right, so you guys head over to the arena, and you go inside. Show them your tickets, and they give you some programs. They're not the fanciest programs in the world. I mean, this isn't a high-end production, but it is, it's slightly better quality than you would have expected, and it lists all of the fights on the card, and you're shown to your seats, and it looks like you guys are ringside.
Okay. By the way, I do not look like Kenny Brown. I do not want that publicity right now.
Do you look like anybody that Carmen would recognize?
I look like the guy that I disguised myself as when I was with Sarah and Jonathan going to find her at the mall.
Okay. All right, you guys go, take your seats, and you look, and you see that she is actually in the final fight of the night. She's the main event.
Man.
Is there some place to put money on a fight?
You can go and try. You can try to investigate. I mean, there's not legal gambling per se here, but you never know. If you look in the right places in the room, you might find a guy who's willing to take some action.
Okay, I'll try to do that.
Okay, give me.
Jonas would like to join her on that one.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you all are you also proficient in investigation?
I am.
Okay, so whichever one of you has the better investigation can have advantage since you are both
I've
proficient.
got a +5 to my investigation.
+4. So you go.
All right. It's a 19 +5, so 24.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, Jonas, are familiar enough with people and with Sarah's experience in some of the shadier dealings of the world. You're able to scope out a guy that's off in a on the side somewhere. He's near one of the concession stands. He's kind of in a crowd, and he's just kind of casually striking up conversations with people, and money is surreptitiously changing hands. And
What's Carmen's stage name? Or is it just Carmen and I don't even know her last name?
it's just Carmen.
It's just Carmen?
Carmen
All right.
Lopez.
Okay. Yeah, I'll approach the guy.
Hey, all right. How you doing? What's going on?
It's going good. Hey, what are you got any odds on the Lopez fight?
Oh man, that's gonna be a great fight. That's a pick 'em right there. That's even money. It could go either way.
I like it. I like it. I like it. What would you say are the odds?
I
Percentage of the winnings and stuff.
like I said, it's even money. 100 gets you 100.
Ah. All right. All right. All right. Do you want? I'll tell you what. Let's put 500 down on Lopez.
I like the way you think. I like the way you think. All right. And he like writes a little ticket out for you, tears it off. You give him $500.
I give him the cash.
All right.
I'm gonna give him 200.
Oh, we got some high rollers here tonight. All right. And he gives you a little ticket as well.
Thank you.
And it's a pretty practiced hand. It's like he kind of swipes it, and you hardly see him put it away. To an untrained eye, you wouldn't have even noticed the money changing hands. He's just that smooth.
Nice.
Do I see where he puts the money?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
I'll gladly do that. Oh, that's nice. But I have a -1 on perception, so 13.
No. I mean, his movements are so smooth, you're not even sure where the heck that money went.
Ah, okay.
Right. After making that deal, Jonas will head to his seat.
All right. I'll see you guys after the fight.
Thank you.
And you guys head back to your seats. Meantime, Carmen, you are in the locker room, getting your pre-fight massage, getting your pep talk from Coach. And
Carmen's just quiet, all in her head, listening to everything Coach has to say.
and have you been drinking at all during the afternoon, or?
Not since the heist.
Okay. Good enough. And he goes over things with you once the first fight of the night has started. But he's also, once things are underway, he lets you go to your spot and just kind of get in your own headspace to get ready for the fight. When it's about a half hour till your card, he kind of runs you through a couple of drills just to get you warmed up and get your muscles loose and get you moving. And the other fights are pretty entertaining. A couple of them go the distance. One of them was a really quick knockout. But the octagon is definitely spattered with blood by the time the main event rolls around.
And Jonas is totally into this. He's standing up. He's banging against the fence, at least best that he can. Trying not to get thrown out by security, obviously.
Right.
But he's making a lot of noise.
And as you look around, as you're enjoying the evening and everything, you notice people with signs, and there are some signs that say Lopez. It seems like she has a decent following here. Now, it's not a thing that you would ever have known about her because you don't really travel in this world, but certainly within this area, she is pretty well known. And there are also signs for Misty, her opponent, as well, and so it seems like they both have a regional appeal, and so it seems like it's going to be a good match.
Just before the fight, I'm gonna go and grab beers and something to eat for
Okay.
everyone in the group.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right.
Kenny, throughout all the fights, has been surprisingly naming off a couple moves, and then he explains later that his brother is on the high school wrestling team, so he knows some of the basics.
Yeah.
Finally, the main event arrives, and each of the fighters heads down to the ring, and you know, Carmen seems like she's in her own little world. She's got headphones on, and her entourage is with her, and they open the cage, they let her into the octagon, and she's getting ready. And when her name is called out, Carmen, how do you respond to the announcer calling out your name?
I just go straight into the ring. I'm not looking at the audience. I'm just focused at the task at hand. But once I get in, I'll do a quick wave to the crowd and then go back to my area and just prepare.
Any chance of you noticing them?
No.
Okay, Sarah?
I'm gonna try and start a crowd, Carmen.
Like a chant? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll help with that.
Okay. Jonas, are you joining in as well?
Oh yeah, he's jumping up and down.
All right, he's like, Carmen, Carmen, Carmen. Who has the best persuasion out of you guys?
Me.
Uh,
+11.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Go ahead and
Yeah.
give me a persuasion roll. See if you can get this going.
Okay. 18.
Yeah, even with that effort, the crowd is starting to get into it, and there's a pretty good Carmen chant going right now, Carmen, and you can't be sure, but you think that Kenny started it. His voice has a way of cutting through. So, meantime, Misty has also entered the ring, and Misty is a little bit shorter than Carmen, but also a bit broader in the shoulder and more muscular. She seems like she has kind of a wrestler style physique, and it looks like she has more of a grappling jiu-jitsu style approach to MMA.
Now, how much smaller is Misty? Would some even say dwarfish?
No, no one would say dwarfish now. Like maybe a half a head shorter, not like super short. The announcer does all the announcing. This is your main event. This contest set for one fall or a submission will be 5 rounds of 3 minutes each. In the white trunks, Misty McLaughlin. And there's a bit of cheering from the crowd. With a record of 18 wins and 1 loss, with 14 victory by knockout. And Carmen, do you know what your record is? Did you and Maya ever decide that?
No, we didn't.
Okay. And in this corner, local favorite Carmen Lopez. Carmen. With a record of 17 wins and no losses, with 14 wins coming by knockout. And they're called into the middle. The referee gives the spiel of, clean fight, no cheap shots. When I say to break. If I wave you off, you move away. If I'm counting, you need to give the other fighter space while I count. Stuff like that. And then he sends them back to their ends of the ring, and he holds up his hand, and brings it down, and the bell rings. And the audience in MMA is used to seeing fighters kind of move into the middle of the ring and kind of reach out and grab at each other a little bit and test out to try and see. They've got a certain amount scripted out, things that they're going to try and see what does and doesn't work, but they're not ready to commit early because they don't want to overcommit themselves and leave themselves exposed. They start to move in, and Misty starts to reach out, and Carmen just snaps off a jab that catches Misty right in the nose and just knocks her head back, and it just stuns her for a second. And Carmen comes in hard. She follows the jab with another jab and then an overhand left. And Misty is already staggering, and she's pushed out back against the cage and is starting to cover herself up. And Carmen, instead of going in for a grapple, you can just see pure rage on her face as she's throwing punches and kicks. And she tries to grab Misty behind the head and drag her head down to knee her in the face. And Misty is doing everything she can to just cover up and try and weather the onslaught. And she is taking an unbelievable amount of punishment from Carmen. Carmen is just pounding at her and pounding at her, and just pure fury on her face. Carmen is going with complete abandon, with no regard to defensive technique. This is a pure onslaught, a flood of attacks, roundhouse kicks, kicks to the leg, jabs, uppercuts. She is just unleashing, and you can see blood spurting from above Misty's eye, and it looks like she might go down, and then the bell rings. But Carmen
during that entire bout, Jonas is just up and cheering and screaming, and if that pesky security guard standing right in front of him weren't in the way, he probably would have climbed that fence.
And you can see, and Carmen is still just focused. A flashier fighter might give a fist pump at the end of the round to show I am completely in control, but Carmen just walks back to her side of the ring as her trainer puts her stool in, gives her some water, rubbing her shoulders, and you can see that the tape around her hands, the gloves, just covered in blood. It is just a gore fest. She is just working Misty over. And you see in Misty's corner, they're working on the eye, trying to get the bleeding to stop, rinsing her, giving her smelling salts, all of that. And the break between rounds seems to pass in a blink. And Carmen is back up again. And you guys are still, I would imagine, chanting and everything. And Carmen, Kenny's voice eventually just does cut through and get to you, and you glance over and you notice him there, sitting front row in his mall disguise with Sarah, Jonas, and Richard. As the second round starts. And do you say or do anything in particular, or just back to business?
I look at them for just a moment, and I'm clearly shook, and then I'm just right back into it.
Okay. You head back into it, but it was enough to break your focus a little bit. And Misty, while I wouldn't say she seems rejuvenated, she's no longer caught off guard by the onslaught. And so when you start to come in hard again to try and continue what you started in the first round, she's able to kind of dodge out of the way and dance back. And as you try to keep up this same pressure, she starts batting your arms past her, and you feel your body being turned a little bit, and you're still focused on trying to finish her off. And in the back of your mind, this isn't the right strategy anymore, but you can't stop yourself because you're just so committed to the rage. Uh-oh. Who'd we lose?
Looks like we lost Kenny.
Looks like
Lost
we
to
lost
Kenny.
Kenny. We lost to Kenny. We'll give him a couple seconds. I'm bringing up
Oh my gosh! They killed
They
Kenny.
killed Kenny. All right, we're gonna give him a couple seconds, and I've got the technical difficulty. No, he's back. All right. Sorry about that, folks. We will press on. So, Carmen, you realize that this is the wrong approach, but you are just locked into the rage mentally, and you just can't shake yourself out and, be cautious. You're still just kind of throwing yourself in, and as you throw yourself in, one time too many, she grabs your arm as it's coming across, and she leans back, and she pulls it and twists you around, and gets her arm around behind you, and she's trying to go in for a chokehold, but you've got your other arm up underneath, preventing her from locking it in. And as she's trying to lock it in, she drops full weight to drag you to the ground. And she's trying really hard to drag you down, and you're trying really hard not to go down. And you're leaning forward with all your weight and using one of your legs to kick at her leg to try and do enough damage to break free. And when this doesn't work, you plant both of your legs and you start trying to slam her against the cage. And she's trying to work her arm under yours, and just as she's about to get the choke locked in, the bell rings, ending the second round. And Carmen, you head back over to your side, and Coach is trying to talk to you. He's like, "Look, I tell you, the aggressive thing, it didn't work. You got to go back to a more tactical fight." And
I know.
well, don't tell me you know. Show me you know. Just stop opening yourself up like that.
All right.
Come on, you got this?
I got this.
You got this.
I got this.
All right. And he's like, shouting in your face and, shaking you by the shoulder. And again, the bell rings and you come back out. And Carmen goes like she's going to charge in again, but this time it's a feint. And Misty falls for it. And she grabs for an arm that's not there and overbalances herself. And Carmen immediately snaps in and twists her around and climbs onto her back. And Carmen, her face is red. She is seething as she climbs onto this woman's back. And she manages to lock in the choke right away. And she's got her arm across Misty's throat. And she drops down and Misty's head snaps back. And Misty goes limp, but she keeps applying the choke. And the referee is shouting. The referee's like, "Lopez, break! Break!" And he's shouting at her and he's screaming at her and she's not letting go. And Misty's face is getting redder and redder, and then it starts to turn blue. And both corners empty, and they're trying to pull Carmen off of Misty, and they cannot get Carmen off of her. And that's where we're going to take our break. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Act 1 of our show for tonight, with it ending with Carmen pinning a defenseless woman to the ground and slowly choking the life out of her. Hang out for 5-10 minutes with us, and we will see you shortly, and we'll find out exactly what happens. So, see you all soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with us over the break. Before intermission, Carmen's big fight began, and it was a bit of a seesaw battle. She and I rolled the dice earlier this afternoon to play out how this was actually going to go to save some time during the stream. But she seems to have the fight well in hand, and the only real danger is whether or not Misty is going to live through this fight, as Carmen is on her back with Misty face down. Carmen has her in a chokehold. There's a small pool of blood beneath Misty's face, as it seems likely that when she fell forward, Carmen broke her nose as she rode her to the ground and reopened the cut over her eye. And as people are trying to pull her off, there's this strange, faraway expression on Carmen's face that the people at ringside can see. And initially, everybody in the arena, they're cheering and chanting, and it's amazing because, I mean, MMA is blood sport, let's be honest here. And so the fact that she is slowly choking this woman unconscious, waiting for her to tap out, everybody is loving it. But the cheers slowly die away and turn to stunned silence as it's clear that Misty is out and can't tap, and Carmen is still not letting go, and they can't get her off. And finally, they do drag Carmen off, and Carmen snaps out of it. Whatever was going on in her mind, and Kenny, Sarah, and Jonas, give me perception checks.
Natural 20.
Oh my.
Nice. It's a 15 for
15
Jonas.
for Jonas?
-1.
It's still a natural 20. What was that, Kenny?
4.
Yep, that's about right. Kenny, don't be bothered by no details. So, Sarah, you notice tears in the corner of Carmen's eyes as she's being pulled off of this woman. And she looks a bit shaken as the EMTs run in and start attending to Misty, and the bell rings again, and orders are stored, and Carmen is declared the winner. And there's a cheer from the audience, but it's not as enthusiastic as it was before because everyone's still a little bit stunned.
Could I check quickly in the audience if I see someone maybe casting a spell or something on Carmen?
Sure, you can go ahead and do a look around.
Investigation or
Yes, investigation.
Yeah. Nice. 22.
22. You look around and it's really crowded and busy, but you don't see any of the signs of anybody that might be working magic. You don't see anybody concentrating. You don't see any gestures or incantations. If anybody is doing magic, it would be very subtle.
Okay.
So are you guys going to hang by the ring? You're going to go collect your winnings?
Is Misty back on her feet, or at least conscious?
Not yet, no.
Jonas will lean over to Kenny. You've got to do something about this. Can you heal her from here?
Maybe. I don't know if it'll be the most... how subtle is healing word?
It's not super subtle. I mean, it's only a word, but I believe there's gestures along with it. So you could try to do it subtly.
Nope.
And in the...
It's just a word. It's just a verbal.
It's just a verbal component. Okay. Then yeah, you could attempt to be subtle about it.
Yeah, he's gonna try to sneakily just kind of say a little, get up, you're okay, to Misty, and hope that it'll help her and heal her a little bit.
All right. How many points?
5.
Okay.
No. 6.
6.
Sorry.
You see Misty's eyes flutter a little bit, and she starts to, and like she has a gasping breath.
Jonas will slap Kenny on the back. Good job, man.
Do you notice any of that, Carmen, or are you still just kind of overwhelmed with?
Carmen is focused on Misty right now.
Okay. You see Misty's eyes flutter open and like it's like gulping breath. Like all of a sudden, all of the air just returns to her lungs in one blast.
Carmen's gonna go over and help Misty up.
Misty gets shakily to her feet. She allows Carmen to help her up.
And I'll hug her and tell her I'm so sorry.
She doesn't really say anything. Her throat is still kind of sore from being crushed. But you can see the cut over her eye has started to close a little bit, and the blood from her nose has slowed. And the trainer comes, her trainer comes back over and makes her lay back down, and they come in with a stretcher and a neck brace and everything because they want to be cautious.
What's kind of the crowd's reaction right now?
Applause. Since
Yeah.
it looks like Misty's okay and she's being taken out by the paramedics.
Awesome. After seeing that, the whole stress of the situation just died down. Jonas is gonna go collect his money.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow too.
And yeah, the bookie's there, and he pays each of you guys. So you gave him 500, you get 1,000 back. You paid him 200, you get 400 back. And some people he's given money to, and other people you just see like ripping up their little receipts and throwing them in the air and swearing and.
All right.
Mm,
After collecting the winnings, gonna head back to the group and see if we can possibly follow Carmen into the locker room or something.
At least see where she enters from or where she's
Okay.
going.
So after Misty is safely away, her entourage starts to lead her out, and you guys can see her coach is like yelling at her while they're going out. You think you catch like, what the hell was that? And they head back toward the locker room.
Jonas will attempt to follow the entourage.
Okay, you get stopped at the entrance to the locker room by security.
I'm with them. Carmen's a good friend.
That's fine then. If she's a good friend, you can see her afterward.
Come on, man. Just
Hey,
let me back there.
you're not part of the staff. Only staff are allowed back there.
Ah, whatever. Jonas walks off.
Okay. Meanwhile, backstage, Coach is absolutely laying into you. You say anything to him, or do you just kind of sit there and take it?
Take it.
He's like, you had the fight. You won. All you had to do was let go. What the hell is wrong with you? I told you, you gotta get your shit together. And this goes on for about 5 minutes, and he keeps waiting for you to say something, and he pauses, and you don't say anything, so he just picks right back up and goes again. And finally, he's spent. He's like, you got nothing to say for yourself?
She's quiet.
Fine. You can pick up your winnings at the gym tomorrow. But until you get your head together, you're pulled. I'm not putting you on another card. We can't have another incident like this again. You sort yourself out. When you're ready, then you come see me. And he turns and he walks away.
I'm in the shower and get changed.
Okay. What are you guys doing? She's in there a long time. I would imagine you're waiting like at the stage door kind of thing, where the athletes come out.
As Jonas come back to us and said that we couldn't pass if we are not the crew or I don't know.
Staff.
Yeah.
Staff.
The staff. Yeah.
Yeah, Jonas would have let you guys know.
Wanna go back there, Sarah?
Yeah, we could, but I don't feel like Carmen is yet my friend. So Jonas and I take off my hat and give it to him.
Okay, hat of disguise, I believe,
It needs to be
it's an
attuned.
attunable item, which means
Yeah.
you're gonna need to sit at least a half hour with it.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, just wait.
Okay.
Now, if she takes a really long shower, you know, might work, but
She's gonna be in there a while.
you could be cutting it
Oh.
close.
Does her coach ever come out?
Well, do you guys go out to the athlete entrance or do you wait inside?
We would have, or at least Jonas would have gone outside with like the rest of the crowd and basically just waited until he either recognized somebody's face or saw Carmen herself.
Okay.
And so I imagine we'd probably stick together,
Yeah.
just with recent incidents.
After about 15 minutes, you see the coach come out.
Okay. Kenny's gonna try to stop him. It's like, excuse me, is
Yeah, what do you
is
want?
Is Carmen all right?
Who
I-
knows?
I know you don't know me, but I've been hanging out with Carmen the past couple days.
Good for you.
She at that fight, obviously something's wrong with her, and we have no idea what it is. We were hoping, as her coach, you might have some idea.
Hey, you want to know if Carmen's all right? I'm not sure she's ever been all right. Okay. There's been something off about her the entire time I known her. Just told her to get her shit together. I can't tell you anything more than that.
Do you think you could get us into the locker room so we could go talk with her?
No, absolutely not. You want to talk with her? You hang out here. She's got to come out that door. She comes out that door. She wants to talk to you. She'll talk to you.
All right.
Fair enough, I guess.
All right. So, Carmen, you take I would imagine a long sit and then a long shower. You're probably just about the last person other than security in the locker room. And maybe the janitorial staff who are waiting for you to leave so they can clean up and go home.
Could I have tried to pass stealthily while Jonas and Kenny were talking to the coach?
Yeah, you could certainly make an attempt to sneak in.
I'll try to do that.
Okay, give me a stealth check to get in at disadvantage because it's open space in front of the door and there's security.
So at disadvantage, 26.
At disadvantage, 26. So you are basically like a ninja. You're a master at this stuff, and you manage to use some other people as a distract. Like you convince some other people to try to sneak in, and then it would be really cool. And while security is trying to deal with them, you slip behind security and through the door, and sneak your way in. And you make your way through, and you can hear showers running.
I'm gonna first try to search if there is a lounge or something where the fighters gathered, or
Yeah, there's like a green room.
do I see anything in there?
No, there's nobody in there right now.
So I'm gonna try to go to the showers.
Okay, and as you're sneaking through the shadows, you see a couple of janitors basically sitting around complaining about the one crazy chick who will not leave, and they can't. I just want to go home. I just want to finish cleaning this place up. Throw in the load of towels, mop up the shower, just go home.
Okay, I'm gonna try to change my disguise into one of the fighters I saw in the ring.
Okay.
and then pass to go to the shower.
Okay. Yep, no problem. They're too busy bitching to realize that you are someone that has already come and gone, showered and left. They do not seem that engaged that they care enough.
I'm gonna try to find Carmen in the shower.
Carmen's in the shower.
I'm gonna try to not look at her because I'm pretty sure she's
Naked? Yeah.
yeah.
It's a shower.
Carmen?
What?
I don't want to.
Just leave me alone, please.
Carmen, it's me. It's Sarah.
What do you want, Sarah?
I'm not gonna pass 1,000 path to talk to you. What the fuck happened on that stage?
It doesn't matter now.
No, it matters.
It doesn't matter now.
Carmen, it matters. I want to know if someone tried to do something to you again, or if it was something else.
Nobody did anything to me, Sarah.
So what's bothering you?
It's not important.
Carmen, I know you probably don't think I'm your friend, but I think you are kind of some fucked up friend to me, and I don't know what to say. And I'm pretty sure something was wrong and off with you, and I know you have some anger inside you, really dark anger inside you, and I want to try to help you.
Why the fuck are you here, Sarah? Why the fuck did you come here? Why the fuck did you bring Kenny? What the fuck do you want from me?
You're my friend, and I want the best for you. And even if you don't think I'm yours, I don't fucking care. So cut the crap. We're here because we like you. We're here because we want the best for you. Even fucking Kenny. He's the one that bought the tickets.
That's wonderful. Kenny Brown, throwing his money around, actually cares for somebody. That's funny, Sarah.
He does.
No, he doesn't. All he wants to do is use us. Use me. That's all he's done. That's all he's done. Kenny Brown is nothing but a bully.
He tries to use you because he don't know how to do anything else.
Why me? Why not you? Why not all of us? No, it's just me. Yeah, no, Kenny Brown doesn't care about anybody but Kenny Brown.
I'm not sure it's true. And I know you're upset. And you have the right to be upset. But I'm pretty sure that he doesn't just care about himself. Because if he would have just cared about himself, he wouldn't be with us anymore after what's your best friend names again?
Signe.
After Signe was taken, after you have been taken, after Jonathan have been taken, he wouldn't be here if he just cared about himself. He wouldn't be.
That's funny. That's really, really funny. I've dealt with people like Kenny before. As long as he has somebody to use, he'll stick around. He does not care who he hurts. I've seen it before. Seen it in my own life. He's just gonna use, and he doesn't care who gets hurt to get what he wants.
You know, at one point I was Kenny, okay? And I'm trying to do the right thing now. And I'm saying to you to please trust me on that one.
I don't think I can, Sarah. I don't think I can trust Kenny.
I'm not asking to trust Kenny. I'm asking you to trust me.
And what is trusting you going to do exactly?
You could, if I'm wrong about it, then you could lash out on me as hard as you want.
I've already done enough damage tonight. I'm not going to kill someone again.
Trust me, you're not going to kill me. But you could get out your anger if something happens. Please.
Letting out my anger only gets people hurt. And seeing Kenny out there tonight, hearing his fucking voice, I lost myself. I was fucking 12 again. I can't do it, Sarah.
Then find another thing to do. Come with us and get your anger into some drow or yenti or any fucking stupid creatures that wants us dead. I mean, it doesn't matter if they are dead.
I can't be around Kenny. He brings out the worst in me. And when that side of me comes out, people die.
Nobody has died tonight.
Someone nearly died tonight, Sarah. Were you not watching?
I was. But there are people that are watching you and trying to take care of you. And I want to be one of those person.
Nobody can help me, Sarah.
Well, I tried. And I will keep trying. So that's on you. And I'm gonna go.
Okay. So, hang on. I think you're on mute, Jonas.
Yeah, I was. Happens every time, right?
I don't know what that's like.
Right, yeah. How long was Sarah inside before we noticed?
She was probably inside a good 10, 15 minutes.
Okay. And has she come out yet, or?
She comes out after a while. Yeah, not looking happy.
I'm gonna rush up to Kenny.
Okay.
What?
What's wrong with you? I'm gonna be calm but firm.
What do you mean? What's wrong with me?
Why did you do that to Carmen? All the thing that you did before and after I was here.
Because she didn't like me, and she didn't know me, so I was gonna give her a reason not to like me.
But she didn't have any reason to like you either. And you know what? All you did just proved her point. And now she's in there, not wanting to get out because of what you did. Because you act like a bully. Because you wanted her to like you and pushed it on her. And now she doesn't want to trust us because of what you done. So please, give me a good reason not to punch you out. Because she's a good person. And you're a fucking good person. I know it. Or I try to believe it.
Well, I think you're putting your faith in the wrong person. I'm not a good person.
And why is that?
I don't know.
You don't know why you're a bad person?
I don't know. Maybe it's genetic.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
I am part orc after all.
So what?
Listen, if she doesn't trust us because of me, I don't have to be around. I can take care of myself. Done so far.
But we are a team. We need to stick together. When we don't, we get fucking kidnapped. We need to be together. We need to be a team. We need to trust each other. It's important. And I don't want to lose anyone again.
I mean, really don't want to lose anyone again either, but if she can't trust me, then I can only trust her not to knock me out when something else is fighting her. I don't really see how this is going to work.
So Carmen, while this is all going on, how much longer do you stay in? Do you try to slip out while people are distracted, or do you just not even care?
Definitely trying to avoid the crowds.
Okay. Does Carmen have another way out for times when there are fans outside that she doesn't want to see?
Unless there's another exit, probably not.
Oh, there's plenty. I mean, an arena like this, there are plenty of exits. I mean, you could go back into the building. You might run into a couple people, but then you could go through a fire exit or any number of ways out of this building.
probably one of the fire exits, and she'll put her hoodie on and the hood over her head and just try to be as inconspicuous as possible.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. I'll give you advantage.
That is an 18.
You managed to get outside the arena. You managed to go to the far side of things, away from where most fans are waiting. And you run into, while you're like looking behind you to try and make sure that you've gotten away, you accidentally bump into a teenage girl that's wearing a Carmen shirt. And as you look to see what happened, she catches a glance under the hoodie, and her eyes go wide, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's you! You are so amazing! Oh, oh, oh!" And she's like reaching in her pockets for like trying to find a pen or something. She's like, "Please, please, will you sign?" And she's got like the crappy program that they made.
I'll quickly take it and sign it as I move toward the road and try to hail another cab and just sign it real quick and give it back to her.
When the little girl exclaimed, would we have been able to notice that at all?
No, she's on the other side. She's literally on the other side of the arena.
Gotcha.
She intentionally went as far away from the exit as she could. So yeah, you guys stand around there, you wait, and people are trickling away, and you've probably been out there a good hour since Sarah came out. The girl's like, "Oh, you're amazing, thank you," and she's like waving to you as you get in the cab, and like clutching the paper to her chest.
Give her a little wave and tell the cabbie where I want to go.
Okay. And off you go to that place. All right. So how much longer do you guys wait around outside? Do you try to sneak back in?
I mean, it's been probably close to 2 hours since the fights ended.
Yeah.
I turn to the group and I have no idea. Guys.
You see the janitors walk out.
Jonas will run over to one of them real quick. Hey, did you guys see Carmen Lopez in there at all?
She left like an hour ago.
Do you happen to know? Do you know where she could have gone?
Don't know, don't care. Just glad she left so I could go home.
Whatever. Thanks, man. And as Jonas is walking back to the group, he throws his hands in the air, just like, I just don't care.
I guess let's go back to the Moonkeeper.
Besides, Kenny's got to get ready for his big interview tomorrow.
Yeah. By the way, everyone, I'm going to be on TV tomorrow. So I might not be around. But if you guys are still looking for Carmen, go to the headquarters for the Viking Guild. I don't know if she technically still is, but she was a part of it. Then they suspended her when Signy was lost. Maybe they have an idea of where she could be.
It's not a bad idea. Do you want one of us to go with you to the interview? More is to just hang out in the background, make sure that everybody's got a partner.
That'd probably be the safest. I can take Richard. Obviously, Carmen doesn't want to talk to me. I don't think she's too fond of him.
Yeah, you could take me. I can look like security.
There you go, buddy.
I'll be like your bodyguard or something. Guarding that body.
I'll let them know.
Quick question for the TM. What's Richard's body type? Is he scrawny?
No, he's
Okay.
he's pretty ripped.
All right. I won't make a joke about it then.
Yeah, Richard's buff. He works out.
All right. Well, it sounds like that'll be the plan.
All right, so you guys head back to the manor.
Sarah will- Yeah.
Moonspeaker Farms. All right, you guys gonna do anything for the evening, or like the late night, or are you just gonna kind of grab a snack, settle in, and crash out?
Would the Moonspeakers have like a mini library of sorts? Possibly almost like a monster manual.
Yeah, they would have some resources.
Okay. Jonas would like to do as much research on Yanti and Drow as he could
Okay,
to what's available to him.
go ahead and give me a roll.
I would like to assist him too about this.
Okay, are you proficient in? I think we decided history was computers.
No,
Okay,
I don't think so.
so give me a history check then, and that'll be like researching on the computers and in the books and everything.
Can
So,
I
Total
I
of
want to find a
21.
moon speaker to talk to.
Sure, you can. Let's deal with the. Let me get the research roll first. Okay.
Say 21.
21. Okay. So you spend several hours poring over books and internet sites and come up with some information, and I'll kind of collaborate with you offline for what kind of details, because I want to double check with Maya because she'll be back on Monday, just to find out how much she wants to give you based on your research.
Sounds great.
I don't want to give away the candy store. Since it's not my candy store, I'm just minding it. But she and I will coordinate, and you'll get some information, because that's a decent roll.
Perfect.
Okay, Kenny, you go and you find. Is there a particular moon speaker that you're looking for, or just whoever's around?
One of the I want to go like one of the younger ones that
Okay.
I think wouldn't be opposed to doing a job.
Okay. His younger brother's around.
Okay, I'll approach him.
He's in the kitchen.
Um,
Oh, hey,
can I?
what's up?
Hey, do you think you could do a side job for me?
I mean, maybe. I kind of don't like to agree to things that I don't know in advance. What do you want me to do?
Can you turn into a bloodhound?
Yeah.
Can as a bloodhound, can you track down someone for us? Carmen, the Lopez, the feisty one that was with us all the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, she gave off a pretty strong aroma. Yeah, I could probably I could probably track her if you had a good starting point for me. Sure.
When we last left her, well, she left us. She was at the Washington Wizards practice stadium. She had a fight there, and then she never came out. But I don't think she was kidnapped. She's been avoiding us.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that tracks.
Uh,
I mean, oh, what? That's crazy.
listen. How much would it cost for your services to track her down?
Why do you want me to do it? I think that's more important.
Well, there's the first aspect of all of us that are currently investigating the Drow and the UNT are being picked off one by one when we're alone, and she is currently alone. So we don't want that to happen to her. And I don't think she's in the right headspace to be alone. And I'm not going. I put her in that headspace. And if I go, she'll just run.
Oh, sounds like
Sarah and Jonas are going to go and try to talk to her at least.
So you want me to go with them, or?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good reason. That doesn't sound selfish at all. And it sounds like it might help Jonathan too. So yeah, I'm in. You don't have to pay me.
Are you sure? I am taking you away from your shop for a day.
Well, let's see how it goes. All right.
Okay. Just, I think they're gonna be taking off first thing in the morning. I'll let them know that
All right.
you're gonna help them.
Just have him come knock on my door in case I'm still sleeping. First one on the right at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
And it's like it looks like he was making a smoothie and he just kind of downs it and is all right. And he like kind of gives you a fist bump.
He gives one back.
Hey, have a good night. Try not to stress too much, dude.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
All right. Peace. And he heads upstairs.
Then Kenny will go and we'll let Jonas and Sarah know that the younger Moonspeaker brother is going with them to help find Carmen. That he will probably be a bloodhound. Try to sniff her out.
Gotta cut it to you, Kenny.
I know how to get away from people, and I know how people can track people. It's kind of a skill I picked up.
Yeah, I noticed.
Oh, that's all. I think I'm gonna go set up the trailer outside.
Could you wait for me?
Sure.
I'm gonna go with him to be in the trailer.
Okay. Meantime, let's see where it is that Carmen got off to. All right, Carmen. The cab pulls up to the curb. Do you go around the front or the back?
The back.
So Carmen walks into the alleyway and pounds on the door. Who is it?
It's Carmen. Let me in.
Carmen. And
Come on, Brad. You know me.
yeah, hang on. Click, click, click. You hear like about 12 locks undo. And the door cracks open as he takes a peek. And he opens it and lets you in.
I push right past him, go to the front of where the bar is, pick something off of the bar, sink to the floor, and start drinking.
He closes the door and starts turning all the locks. We're closed, you know.
I know.
And you know why we're closed, right?
I know. I have nowhere else to go.
That's interesting, isn't it? So you have nowhere else to go and now you come here. Refresh my memory. What was it that you said to me when I pulled you aside when you came here the first time? I mean, I know it was a while ago. You were a lot less drunk then.
Said I didn't need your help.
So I am literally the last person you would come to for help, which means that you have managed to piss away every other one of your friends.
Yeah, that's the gist of it, Brad. Thanks for the reminder.
So why are you here?
Had a match tonight.
Okay. And?
I nearly killed her.
Jeez. So, why are you here?
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to get drunk.
No, you can do that anywhere. You came here. I know why you're here. I need you to say it. Why are you here?
I don't know. I really don't know.
He walks over and grabs the bottle out of your hand. Yes, you do. Why are you here? And on the last word, he just shoves your shoulder.
because I'm sick of being who I am.
He
Because I need help.
He smirks a little bit. That's not a bad start. The Carmen I know wouldn't have taken that.
Nearly killed a girl tonight. I swore I'd never do that again, and yet here I am.
So you have some problems controlling your anger. We know that. You controlled it now. It's a good start. Are you ready to learn? Put the bottle down and really learn?
I guess I kind of have to, don't I?
No, you don't have to do anything. Life is about choices. You can choose to keep going with this drunken path and stagger about and lash out at everyone around you, friend and foe alike. Or you can learn balance. You can learn that actions have consequences, that good and evil are just abstract concept, and that it's all choices.
I just don't want to kill anybody again.
Well, I can't promise that, but I can promise that if you join us, the next time you kill someone will be because you chose to kill someone.
Okay.
And there are people out there that need killing. I know that sounds harsh, but it's reality. There are people that need killing. There are people that need saving. But mostly, order must be maintained. Are you ready to join the Plastered Dragon?
Yeah.
All right, then follow me. And he leads Carmen into the kitchen, and he pulls open a hidden trap door in the kitchen, and there's a stairway leading down. And Carmen and Brad descend the stairs and into the basement of the Plastered Dragon. And that's our evening, which brings us around to the next game day. So, Carmen, you can update your character sheet accordingly as you have changed schools now of monk. You will replace your levels of Drunken Master with the Order of the Plastered Dragon, and we'll see how that plays out in your personality. I wouldn't expect Carmen to be a perfect Monk of the Plastered Dragon initially, but with meditation and practice, I think she might get there.
Yeah,
Can
we'll
we
see.
just give a shout out to the wonderful member of our community who
I think we have to, yes.
provided that?
So there is actually a homebrew of the Way of the Plastered Dragon. Is it on D&D Beyond now? It is, right? It's. I know he told me that he was going to wait for Maya and I to be able to share it out. So I think it's just in the campaign right now. I'm not 100% sure.
It is just in the campaign.
Okay.
It has not been shared yet.
Yes, but once Maya and I have the modern verse fully fleshed out and in a state that we want to release, the Way of the Plastered Dragon will be added to that and will be shared out so that people can play as a Plastered Dragon monk. Big shout out to the Astromancer who created this amazing monk subclass for us, based solely on watching us. Once he realized that the Plastered Dragon was actually an order of monks, which was a reveal in Something Wicked This Way Comes 4 or 5 weeks ago, he just took it upon himself to homebrew this amazing subclass, and you're going to get to see it in action as Carmen makes her change. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch and playtest, and we are very excited to be sharing and premiering this with you or for you. So, and Astro, I see you is in the chat talking about that it's on Home Brewery. If you want to share a link in the Discord, you are absolutely welcome to, or the Discord or the Twitch stream. Either is fine and dandy with me. Uh, so big hats off to you. All right. So Carmen is having her overnight indoctrination and training montage. Let's see how things go in the morning with Jonas and Sarah. Are you muted again? Yes. No,
I'm not.
Jonas is.
Oh.
I see his lips moving, but I don't see anything happening, or hear anything happening, I should say. Your camera cut out and came back on. I don't know if something happened when you did that. Sarah, why don't you talk while he's figuring out his technical issues?
All right. So, what's the name of the little brother of Jonathan?
Jonathan's little brother is Michael. Nope.
Michael.
And we just lost. No, he's coming back. But we still can't hear him. It's not muted on the headset, is it? No? I don't think I muted you. I don't think I can mute you because I'm full screen on the...
Can you hear me at all now?
Yep, there you
Yes.
go. Okay, I think my blue microphone just wanted to cut out on me.
Oh, whoops. Apparently, sorry, Astromancer. I told you to post a link, and apparently you weren't supposed to post a link, and Nightbot scolded you. That's my fault. I didn't know that would happen. If anything bad comes of it, I will resolve it for you because you are not a naughty member of our community. You are a valued member of our community. That's great. The channel owner is getting his viewers in trouble. Awesome. 2 thumbs up. That guy's great.
Time we come back.
I got this.
Yeah, I believe in you, Fire. So while Carmen is having her training thing, let's go to Jonas and Sarah.
All right. Hopefully my mic's not being dumb now.
So, Michael.
Yeah, what's up?
Kenny told us that you would help us track someone.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just grab my shake here. You guys want a smoothie?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Sure.
He goes. He's got the industrial blender. It's like a Vitamix. Yeah, they're not messing around here at the Moonspeaker household. What do you want in it? I like protein, greens, and fruits myself, but everyone's got their own thing.
Sounds great to me.
He blends one up for you, and it's actually a pretty good balance. He seems to have gotten the blend just right. So even though you see him put kale in it, it doesn't have that bitter kale taste.
Nice.
All right.
So, you're good?
Yeah, let's do this. Where are we starting?
I mean, I know that she was a member of a guild around here, but I just got a feeling we've got to check out the arena again. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I think. I mean, the tracks could be fresher there.
All right, I'll wait to change till we get there. Then you just gotta kind of find me like a hiding spot. Maybe I'll change in the car or something.
As you
Yeah.
wish.
We can do that. Do you guys happen to have a car we can borrow? We've only been going by Uber.
I mean, I can check the delivery schedule. Maybe I can borrow the delivery van. And he runs out. The van is out. We may have to just do an Uber and I'll hide in the bushes or something.
All right. Well, I guess we'll head out to the arena then.
Okay, you guys.
We'll order an Uber.
All right, you guys head out to the arena, and you get there and you find a good hidey spot, and he changes into a bloodhound, and you guys lead him over to where?
Um,
Could we try to sneak in the arena?
Sure. It's locked up.
I'm gonna try to unlock it.
Okay. Get them
Oh, thanks,
lockpicks
sir.
out.
Uh, 29.
Okay, yeah, you
No, I'm sorry. 26.
oh,
That's a 16.
well that fails then. you you easily pick the arena door to the locker area.
I'm gonna still try to have a disguise of the same person I was yesterday.
Okay. And so, do you go in as well, Jonas, or?
yeah. Hopefully it's quiet enough in there.
Doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on right now.
Sweet. Yeah. Head into the locker room. Try and find a locker that was labeled as Carmen for last night's fight, and see if we could find any piece of her gear or clothing that she may have left behind by chance.
Okay, you don't find any gear or clothing. She was pretty meticulous in grabbing her stuff, but there is a locker that was hers where Sarah saw her stuff. And so you lead Bloodhound Michael over, and he goes and he gives it a sniff, barks once and starts sniffing along the floor, and heads back out into the arena. And you see him kind of zigzagging across the floor as you guys follow him, and he comes to the far side of the arena, and he's like pawing at one of the security doors.
Just go and check if it's locked or
Well,
open.
I mean, it's an emergency exit, so you can open it from the inside.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
Jonas will push it open.
you pop it open, and he continues out, and he starts sniffing along, uh, and kind of goes. He comes to a spot. He kind of starts sniffing in a circle at this one spot, and then turns away from that spot and heads to the curb, and then kind of stops there, whimpers a bit, and then heads back to the spot and starts sniffing along, following a different trail from the spot.
Keep following Bloodhound Michael.
Okay, he goes a ways and comes to a residential neighborhood in southeast, which is where the arena is, and it's like row homes.
Picturing Carmen and everything, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who would live here. But I mean, it's our only lead. Let's keep giving it a shot.
So the dog eventually goes up to one of the doors and kind of sniffs at it and like paws at that door.
What does the house look like?
It's not the worst neighborhood, but it's not a great neighborhood. It's kind of like a set of rundown, almost townhomes, and it's just like one of the ones in the middle. They all look more or less the same. It's like a three-story, narrowish building. Badly in need of paint.
What do you think, Sarah? I just don't see Carmen coming to a place like this, but you never know with her.
Should I try to disguise myself as her coach? Maybe?
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Is there anywhere I could hide myself to change?
Give me investigation.
16.
Okay. You find a spot that it seems like a little alleyway where it seems like between a couple of the rows of houses that you're out of sight and it doesn't look like anybody's around.
So I'm gonna change up to her coach looking, but with other clothes, but in the same style.
Okay.
And I'm gonna walk up to the door.
Okay. You knock on the door?
Yep.
Okay. Teenage girl walks to the door. Yeah, can I help you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to imitate the coach.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Is Carmen here?
Carmen?
Yeah, I don't know how you look, Carmen. Could you describe yourself?
Hispanic, long dark hair, muscular.
So, a tall woman, Hispanic looking, long brown hair.
You mean Carmen Lopez?
Yeah, her.
Why would she be here? That would be amazing. Is she here? And she starts looking around.
Um,
And she says, wait, I'll be right back. And she runs in the house. And she comes back and she's got a poster. You've never seen a Carmen poster before, but somehow this girl has a Carmen poster. She's like, is she here? Could she sign my poster? All I had yesterday was a program.
oh. I'm sorry, darling. Yeah, I thought she would. Okay, no, never mind. And I'm just gonna walk
What?
out.
Wait. How do you know Carmen? Wait, don't go.
I'm not listening to her.
How about you, Jonas?
In realizing that Carmen is definitely not here, he's halfway up the street, kind of motioning to Michael the Bloodhound to let's get out of here quickly.
She's like, wait, don't go. And you guys take off?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take off, but just make sure that the kid is not following us.
Oh, she's following you.
Okay, I'm gonna turn back and say, just, kid, never mind. I thought it was her home. I'm really sorry. I
Wait.
was just.
She pulls out a cell phone. She's like, hang on a minute. You look like you're her coach and you don't know where she lives?
Yeah, no, I don't know. She's a mess. And
You're a mess.
yes.
And she holds up her phone and she goes like this.
Oh no.
And she turns and she runs back toward her house.
Jonas, could you do something?
Uh,
A spell, anything to blow her phone.
And she's like talking into the phone right now. You can't quite make out what she's saying.
How far away is she from me?
She's got a good lead because you took off, you and the dog.
Would you say within 60 feet?
I would not say within 60 feet. No.
Dang it. Jonas looks at Coach Sarah and is like, "No, there's not much I can do. We just got to go."
Okay, I'm gonna try to find somewhere to drop my disguise.
Okay.
It was bad.
She's like, and you're pretty sure you heard the word police when she was talking into the phone.
Oh shit, it's pretty bad. I'm gonna look at Michael's bloodhound and just say, "You fucked up. You've done fucked up."
He looks up at you and whimpers.
Oh God. Let's just go.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
All right.
Really quick.
All right. Where do you guys go?
We'll call up an Uber. Hopefully they're close by, and we'll head back to the Moon Speakers.
Okay.
Wait, could we get back to the arena?
Yeah, we'll head back to the arena then.
I would like
Okay.
to try something.
Okay. All right. So meantime, Kenny, what are you doing to prep?
Kenny would have met up with his agent,
Okay.
explain that Richard's here. He's a friend. Don't mind him. And he's just gonna settle down to like the kind of normal routine he has whenever he has to do anything, whenever he has to get prepared to go on TV or anything. It doesn't happen too often, but he goes. It's probably like a makeup tent. He's getting all that done and everything. He's just kind of sitting there preparing, realizing that he didn't actually prepare his speech last night. As Kenny, he doesn't exactly know what he's going to say, so he's just trying to make something.
Has Maya played your agent with you before?
Yes.
Okay. What's the agent like?
She's a woman. Just kind of, she acts endearing, but she's kind of like motherly, but at the same time, she puts being an agent first.
Right. So she uses endearing. She's like, Kenny, sweetie, so good
Yeah.
to see you. You all ready for your big break? No such thing as bad press, right?
Yeah, no such thing as bad press.
I booked you on. Oh. However, there is such a thing as bad internet connections. I booked you on Capital Beat. Mark Gottfried is going to be interviewing you and only you tonight. This is your big chance. What are you going to say?
Well, I think I kind of have a little bit like a speech prepared, but honestly, I'm gonna do what I do best and just wing it as I go.
Hey, it hasn't steered you wrong so far, but here, fun idea. Why don't you just run a few things past me just so we can make sure that we're really ready for this? And by we,
Yeah.
I mean you, of course. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about the music. It's about the art. Your career is
know.
not on the line at all. Your future does not even remotely depend on the things that you say on this show tonight.
Never does. Like people just have a way with me. I don't know. I got some quote that I found on my way here, from Martin Luther King about darkness and overcoming it.
Oh,
Um,
that's always good. People eat up that
Yeah.
Martin Luther King stuff. Oh, you're going to be
Uh,
amazing. I just know it.
I know. I'm, talk about the fight, the struggle, and how we're not gonna let whoever did this win.
Great. That's great stuff. That's great stuff. Where do you want to go for dinner beforehand? And is your friend going to come with us?
Yeah, he's coming with us. Oh, speaking of which, that reminds me, I need like 6 backstage passes. One for Richard here, one for Sarah Adams, one for Carmen Lopez, one for Jonathan. I don't know his last name off the top of my head, honestly. Big, tall. He'll be with me probably. One for Jonathan Moonspeaker, and one for a Signe, short woman, kind of, I don't know if Swedish descent or something.
A short Swedish woman? Are you sure, sweetie? I know you
Yeah.
get confused with some of those details sometimes.
It doesn't matter. I don't think she'll
Hey.
actually show up. But if I invite Carmen, I don't invite her. Things.
Yeah, I get that. It can be a whole scene. I'll get you the passes. It's not a problem. Anyone you want backstage can be backstage. It's your world. It's your world. We just live in it.
Yep. I know.
All right,
Um,
let's go grab something to eat. What are you thinking? Are you thinking ribs? You want seafood? What are you feeling tonight?
Just something light. I haven't had the best night, and I don't want to hurl on camera.
Oh, that's a
This
good
is-
idea. That's a good idea. Maybe
This is-
maybe a kosher deli. I'll get you some matzo ball soup.
That sounds perfect.
Okay. And so she takes you to a deli, and you guys sit down for some dinner. You, Richard, and your agent. So, what did you guys decide you wanted to do back at the arena? What was your idea, Sarah?
Uh, I would want to go back to the circle that Michael did
Mm-hmm.
at the exit
Mm-hmm.
and try to see if there is any mark or trace that could lead us to another path
Okay.
that Carmen could have
Give me an
taken.
investigation.
That's not good. 15?
No, I mean it's a pretty well-traveled area, and by this point in the day now, a lot of people have been over that spot, and really there wasn't a whole lot to see there to begin with. So it's pretty much a dead end.
Okay. Well, Jonas, I tried. I don't know what else to do. Any ideas?
You're muted
I-
again.
Yeah, that.
Still muted. I don't know I don't know how you undid it last time.
Hello?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Discord does not like me tonight. To answer your question, Sarah, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is to possibly wait. She knows that we're good with the moon speakers, but beyond
But-
that,
But in the conversation we had yesterday, it sounded like she didn't want to come back. So I'm not sure if waiting is the good thing to do.
So the dog bolts away from you and runs toward the bushes.
Jonas will follow after him.
Sarah too.
And Michael stands up from inside the bushes. Oh man, sorry about that, but I was running low on time, and I couldn't really tell you I was running low on time. We didn't have a signal or anything, so I didn't want to just kind of change out there on the street. But,
Hey, no problem. We appreciate you even doing this for us.
Bark one time is for yes, two time is for no.
Okay, good. That's good to know for next time. That's great stuff. But I mean, I heard what you were saying, and like if she doesn't want to come, there's no use stressing over it. I mean, give her some space. Either she'll come back or she won't come back. You can't really force it. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree.
her scent ended at the curb there, but it mingled with this other person's scent there, and so I just followed the other person because it was the only lead we had.
Yeah, that's not on you at all. I appreciate you doing that.
All right, let's head home and let's just grab a snack or something, and maybe we can watch your friend on TV.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
By the way, your smoothie was really good.
No, all right. Well, you can have that for breakfast tomorrow too if you want.
Okay.
We moon speakers know our way around the kitchen. Meantime, Carmen, you got a reasonably good night's sleep. The accommodations there were not the most comfortable in the world, but the space felt safe and soothing. And so you still got in a good long rest out of it. And so right now you're just doing some mindless cleaning just to kind of meditate upon some of the lessons that you were given. And you hear a knocking on the back door.
I'll go to the back door. I'm not gonna answer, or I'm not gonna open it, but I'll call out. Who is it?
Um, I don't know if you know me, but I'm looking for Carmen.
Gloria.
It's important. I met her yesterday outside the arena. She gave me her autograph, and like there's some crazy people after her, and I gotta warn her.
Who are you?
I'm just a fan of hers. My name's Becky. But she's the best, and like I mean I'm just here to help her. I didn't even bring my poster for her to sign. I just came to warn her. I got a picture to show her and everything, but I mean, if you're not gonna let me in, I mean the place is closed. I didn't know the place was closed, but is there another one of these around? Because this is the only one that I know about.
Why do you think she's here?
Oh, when she got in the cab yesterday, I saw her say to the driver to go to the Plastered Dragon, and this is the Plastered Dragon. So, I wouldn't have stalked her or anything, but those people were after her, and so like I had to warn her.
I'm gonna open the door crack.
It's the teenager from yesterday.
What are you doing here, kid?
Oh my God, it's you! It really is you. So like these people, they came to my house and like they were looking for you, and one of them looked like your coach, but he said he thought it was your house, and so there's no way that was your coach because your coach knows where you live, doesn't he? Was that your coach? Did I call the cops on your coach? I'm so sorry.
No, that's that. Let me see this picture.
And like she pulls out her phone and shows you the picture she snapped, and it's Jonas, your coach, and a bloodhound.
Yeah, that's. I know them.
Are they dangerous? Should I worry?
No, no, no. I know them. No. You shouldn't worry.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do, but like I thought you were in danger, so like I kind of rode my bike over here. It's really far.
You shouldn't have come here. Why were you thinking that you should come that far by yourself on a bike?
Because like you're my hero and I want to be just like you when I grow up. And so like sometimes you have to act like a hero to be a hero. And so I figured if I came and I warned you that like, I don't know. I didn't really think it through. My mom says I'm impulsive.
I get that. I completely understand that. I was the same way. You should probably not be that impulsive. Being a hero is it's not what it's cracked up to be. You should just go home and finish school and get a really good job and just live your life. Try not to live up to somebody else.
Oh. Okay. I guess, but
Breaking her heart.
but like
Does she have the poster with her?
she doesn't. She didn't bring it because she was really all about she was like just trying to get here. Can you, and like she grabs a water bottle from her bike. I kind of drank it all on the way. It was a lot farther than I thought. Can you just fill this up for me before I go?
Sure, kid, I can do that. And I'll take the bottle from her and go over to the tap and fill it up for her.
I'll try not to bother you anymore. I didn't tell anyone where you were.
Don't worry about bothering people. Just think about your own safety first. Riding your bike across town just to find me probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. A lot of weirdos out there.
Oh yeah, my mom says there's a lot of weirdos out there, but she likes to worry me and scare me and stuff, and I like to do the opposite of what she says.
You should listen to your mom. Your mom isn't just. She's not just trying to be mean and make sure you don't have any fun. She cares about you.
Oh,
And
I know. I mean, ever since Dad left, it's been really hard on her, but, I should be better. I just,
be good to your mom. She's not always going to be around.
yeah, okay. Can I still come cheer you on your fights?
Of course you can.
Okay.
What would I do if I didn't have wonderful fans like you?
She perks up a little bit. And can I still study martial arts and just like have school to fall back on?
Yes, but try not to focus on it. It's not. It's. Carmen's obviously struggling for words here. Focus on school and learn martial arts to find some balance in your life and protect yourself from the crazy people out in the world.
And she said she snaps to attention, does this, and bows.
And Carmen will bow back.
She looks really, really pleased. And she grabs the water bottle from you, jumps on the bike, and just starts pedaling away. And she's waving to you as she goes.
Hey, wait, come back.
She hits the brakes and spins around and pedals back over to you.
Give me your number. Give me your address. I'd like to check up on you.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you're riding your bike out in the middle of God knows what. I want to make sure you get home okay.
Oh, wow. This is the best day ever. And she reaches into her backpack, pulls out a piece of notebook paper, scribbles a name and a number and an address, and hands it to you.
What's your name, kid?
Becky.
All right, Becky. I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
Okay. I'll make sure my phone's charged.
All right. Go home. Go straight home. Do not go anywhere else. Be careful.
I will, I promise. And she jumps on her bike and she pedals faster. She's like pedaling insanely fast. She is clearly on an adrenaline high right now as she goes just tearing down the street.
And Carmen's gonna watch her as long as she can, and then once she can't see Becky anymore, she'll close the door and lock it up again.
Now, when Carmen goes back inside, does she turn on the TV to watch Capital Beat? Because she knows Kenny's on.
Yes.
Okay. And so Carmen turns on the TV. Jonas and Sarah have the TV on. Richard is sitting off camera with Kenny's agent. As the lights come up, Kenny in his best Kenny Brown country star outfit, looking as country as he possibly can. Jack, describe Kenny's show outfit for us.
So, it's Levi jeans. He obviously has his cowboy boots and the cowboy hat on. And then it's honestly just a plain white tee and then just a plaid long coat. But everything's like very tailored to show off Kenny's figure and everything, and kind of make him look a little bit more muscular than he actually is. And everything's just very, very tailored to show off Kenny's best physical aspects.
Excellent. And it's just you and Mark Gottfried, the host of Capital Beat. And the lights come up, and Mark says, "Good evening and welcome to Capital Beat. We have a special guest tonight. We're going to be talking about hate crimes and the pro and anti-gay agendas that are out there that all seem to have been spurred by this man's appearance upcoming tomorrow night at the DAR Concert Hall. Please welcome with me to the show tonight, Mr. Kenny Brown. Kenny, it is a pleasure to have you here on the show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. So next week we will be picking up with the groundbreaking, historic Kenny Brown Capitol Beat interview. Not next week, 2 weeks. It's every 2 weeks. I know we all wish it was next week, but it is not. I want to thank the cast once again for letting me sit in the DM's chair. I'm going to get to do this one more time. I will get to be Mark Gottfried and host the Capitol Beat interview. A lot of groundbreaking character development stuff happening tonight. Nice job to all my players. Quick reminders, tomorrow night, Werewolves on Drunken Dread. Monday night, Chosen Family. We're going to have a lot of inter-party relationship stuff. Next Tuesday on Something Wicked, we'll find out if they can survive their choices. Wednesday, we've got another fiasco coming up, and that'll be our week. So we look forward to seeing all of you guys again soon. Keep tuning in. Keep joining us on Discord. That's always the best place to reach us. We're going to go onto the Discord server in just a couple minutes and hop into the chat. Fire beat me to sending off the Discord command because she's a much better moderator than I am, and I'm okay with that. Thank you all. Keep being awesome, keep playing games, and have a better tomorrow. We'll see you in chat.